What is up, guys? Welcome back to Guardians of the Galaverse episode 12. We've been doing this for 12 weeks now, and yeah, it's been the go-to place to keep up to date with the galagames ecosystem. So you know how we do it. We'll start off with ahead of the game. We'll go over the daily information in there, well, not daily, weekly information in there of what happened from this week to last Saturday in Gala's ecosystem, including music, film, and games, as well as Voxverse, and I think there's a new one called Powered by Gala as well. So all of those is generally what we cover. This week it was fairly quiet, but there was some decent pieces of information in ahead of the game, as well as all the Miranda situation that has been unfolding in the last couple of weeks. I see you there, Prospector. Good morning, good morning. I'm here on time for this episode. Yes, we started a bit late. I was celebrating my wife's birthday today, so I told Shadow and Khaos we're going to push it back an hour, and here we are. How you guys been doing today? Anything exciting? Anything exciting for the weekend?
Just a note, Smiling's hour was actually 90 minutes. No, just been chilling all day, playing a lot of CA and a lot of LR. I really want to buy a Nexus, so I've been trying to just snipe one of those on the market. So if anyone's selling a Nexus for cheap, hit me up. Yeah, that's about it for me today.
Yeah, no, just day off today. It's chilling, playing some Legendary Born. Wasn't feeling too good last night. My stomach was playing up. I had too much spicy food, so yeah, my stomach doesn't do too good with spicy foods. I gotta know my limitations. Apart from that, I'm currently playing Legendary Born. I'm trying to chase that #1 spot for the event point. Not too far away from the guy that's #1, Womi. I think I'm like 5,000 points behind him. Me, that's about just winning 10 games, so I could do that easy. But he plays just as much as me, so I'm gonna have to double up my time playing that. But apart from that, all is well, man. All good in the hood.
Oh yeah, the Legendary Born Battle Pass ends in 2 days, right? So if you guys haven't been playing that quite a bit, then you might want to try and get a couple of the monster cards. I think up to 1,600 points is the Warrior Troll. So if you try and get that, he's a fairly good card to have in your deck. I'm going to try and probably do that tomorrow.
Saying that, like, even if you acquire it, like, it's going to reset. So I mean, if you did acquire it within the last 2 days, you'll get to use it then. But then I think everything gets reset and then you'll lose access to it.
What, even the cards that you get from the Battle Pass?
I thought the cards stay, it was just the creatures that reset, but I don't.
Are you talking about the action cards?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the creatures. You said the warrior.
I was talking about the creature.
Troll.
Yeah. The troll that you get from reaching 1,600 points in the Battle Pass. That resets?
Yeah.
As in, even if you go get it, you can only use it for the Battle Pass duration, and it will reset the next season, well, the next Battle Pass. So the 5 creatures that you get in the next Battle Pass, you'll be able to use it for that season, and then that will reset. Oh my god, what is happening?
You're not happy, man?
The Battle Pass is free. The Battle Pass is free. So I know.
Yeah.
Like you're not paying.
So how are you gonna craft the creatures, like the database creatures you buy on the Gala website, because there's currently a sale happening, right? So you can buy that there and they're already minted to NFTs. But then how are you acquiring the creatures in game? Because you can only buy the action cards right now, and you can craft the action cards. There's no way to get like craft creatures, right?
If you don't have the NFT, it'd literally be the weekly rotation.
Ah, that's not good. They need to fix that.
Well, we don't know. Like, there's still a lot coming out, so there might be ways for people to acquire creatures, database creatures. That, because obviously they've only talked about minting action cards. I don't see why they can't do it like Champions Arena, where they'll just charge you more minting scrolls. But right now it'd be like 1 minting scroll per action card, but they might say, you might have to need like 5 minting scrolls to mint one of the database creatures. But again, the game is still early access, so we don't really know how they'll do that when it comes to acquiring database creatures.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I guess we just have to wait for more information in pretty much everything related to the gaming side right now. Prospector, happy birthday to your wife, Smiling. Thank you very much. I'll tell her tomorrow when she wakes up, because we got home and then she was like, I'm going to sleep. And I was like, yeah, I know you're going to sleep. I'm going to join you after I do the podcast. Thank you for last week's episode. The guests, it was stacked with great information and your guests were very knowledgeable people. That is why I'm trying to get more guests on the podcast. Because, for example, Dub is good at Common Ground World and EPX. 8-Bit is a musician, so he knows the music side, and everybody is generally passionate about Miranda's, and people got in at different times, so people remember different promises and different perspectives. So every now and again, I'll try and get a couple guests every couple of weeks, every other week, and then we can go over certain topics that are good for those type of guests. But I am working on getting more guests in. I think having like 4 to 5 people is manageable, because then you can go back and forth. But after you go like to 6, it becomes kind of chaotic, because I'm trying to host and do all the background stuff. But I'll try and get at least 4 and 5 people. Speaking of that, let's switch over. Oh,
last week was absolutely dope. And yeah, you handled it like a pro. So yeah,
getting the crypto view in and then like switching everything over. It was like, yeah,
good episode.
Yeah, it was like 3-4 hours of just like full on knowledge. Well, the first 45 minutes was the ahead of the game coverage, and the last 2-3 hours was everything about Miranda's. And I think quite a lot of people enjoyed that, because there was like, yeah, this is the main topic. We need to know more about this. All right, let's switch over to the scene with the chat. So as always, guys, you can find the ahead of the game summary over on my Twitter or X, whatever you guys call it. I post it every week after the episode goes live, like an hour or so after, just to make sure I got all the information and spell check, grammar check, you know, all the good stuff. I post it every week, so make sure you just follow me there to get the weekly updates. I basically save you an hour, because most of the information is just like repeated but worded differently. But this one, that they did have a couple of things that were new and were interesting. So let's start it off with this one. Was also hosted by Bitbender and Anita. So the last, I think, 3 were hosted just by Anita, and this one Bitbender did manage to jump in for the whole duration. From, I think, well, he moved to an interview at one point and they cut out, but then he came back for the last 20 minutes of AMA questions. So we'll start off with the updates for Go Gala Films. So the film soft launched on the 11th and then fully launched on the 14th. So the platform is actually live right now, and you can watch, I think, the first 3 episodes of Race now. A couple of days ago, Razor episode 3 was available, so you just got to go to film.gala.com, or you can go to smilinmonster.com/gala film, and then you will be able to access the play, watch, and watch, earn some. What is the Go Gala Films motto? Like, it's not play, earn, watch something. I don't know, but they've got the three-word catchy motto. And you can use this platform for free. It's completely free. You just got to sign up, make an account. Then you can watch the episodes on a weekly basis. You have to collect a moment. So that is the like gamified version of the film side. If you go to films, and then you can go to, let's go with the Razor. And then there's like Razor mystery boxes. If you go to the store, so you have the $3.99 premium mystery box. And this gives you the exclusive Razor brand merchandise, meet the cast and crew, and additional mystery boxes and gala rewards. So this is what that will pull. And then if you pull the moments pack, so this is what you need to collect to get all the discounts and doubling your bonuses for certain popcorn distributions. If you want the full information, make sure to check out Wookie's channel, because he's done a whole video on the gala film moments and how it works, how you need to collect it, which ones pair and which ones stack. But the moments, there is a 4.1% 6 chance when purchasing 3 to 8 moment packs, 5.5% chance when purchasing 9 to 11 moment packs, and a 6.24% chance when purchasing 12 or more moment packs. And then open now to claim your piece of cinema history by by owning moments of Razor. As a viewer watches Razor, you receive rewards which can be used to get closer to the film, cast and crew. Discounts available, as I mentioned, if you purchase more. So basically, when people are watching the film for free, and if you have a moment, you will get rewarded, and then you can use those rewards to get additional behind the scenes footage or meet the cast, crew, maybe even appear in season 2 or 3. You never know if that is an option. So yeah, go check out Go Gala Film. Have you guys seen Razor, or have you not touched it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. I thought we was going to do like a watch party.
Yeah, if you
waiting
guys are
for
free,
that.
let's do a watch party tomorrow.
Yeah.
You guys free tomorrow?
I'm out for Sunday dinner at 3 o'clock, and then I'm free afterwards.
I guess we can do it like 8-9 o'clock our time, like usual starting time, where we just watch the first 3 episodes, which is probably what 15-20 minutes each, like an hour, and then we can like game if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Watch party tomorrow.
See if Khaos wears that bandana.
Yeah. It reminds me of, what is it? I saw a kid when we were out today. He was playing GTA San Andreas. The kid was like 13. Is like, how are you playing San Andreas? And then the banner reminds me of San Andreas because he was at the part where what was it, Grove Street were initiating the like turf wars, and then everybody's like putting on the bandanas and getting like the green swag and like jumping into the cars. And I was like, oh, this was such a good game.
San Andreas.
Legit.
Game.
Yeah, that too. Even like all the mechanics at the time, it was like revolutionary, like turf wars, then like all the car upgrades, then like moving maps. The map was one of the biggest in gaming history at the time. Yeah, such a great game.
They bossed it, mate.
Maybe you could go like on a date, you go to like the fucking fast food restaurant, and then you had to like, you had to like to do team with character. It's so funny. There's like
Well,
so
they
many
had,
like games within games. And then you can go to the gym. I remember used to go get
Yes.
I used to go eat bear, and then go get hench in the gym.
I used to go eat bare chicken or Taco Bell, get really, really fat, and then for like 2 weeks just focus on the gym and then get like really strong muscle and stamina and just like do insane sprints and like fist fights. But yeah, the game was legendary. Let's not get sidetracked though. The galachain has seen significant progress, with numerous projects being onboarded rapidly. We're still waiting for who they are, what they are, like the public announcements, but they have said there's a lot of people coming to galachain. Bitbender will also be in Asia signing contracts. I think he's going to be in Thailand, and he's going to be somewhere else in the next couple of days. But before long, users will also be able to mint their own tokens to galachain. So everybody is expecting a meme coin season to hit galachain. And if that actually does happen, and we see the same insane flow of liquidity and capital that's been going from like Solana back to Base and then to Ethereum, and like all of these changes like swapping back and forth, if that happens to galachain and galachain does not get hit with all the congestion like Solana did, or if it doesn't get like any other issues, then you never know, maybe starting the meme coin rally would be the best publicity for galachain. Have you guys used galachain, or are you still not using that feature just yet?
I use it for sending like CA items that I sell to people. Other than that, I've not really used it. Like when I've been buying items, like just sending gala to people to pay for like NFTs and stuff. And the fact that it's feeless is fucking awesome, quite frankly.
Yep.
And it's fast.
Yeah, it's real fast, especially with like the side chains. Because if you look at that document, I don't know if I can find it right now, but it says galachain can scale infinitely sideways, because it can just launch up another workload on the side, and then that game or that workload is specific for that type of information. And since it's using TypeScript and not like Solidity or Rust, like all these complicated ones, it's fairly easy to get into based on the previous information that they released on the galachain hackathon. But I was also going to talk about Gala Swap. So Gala Swap is experiencing significant activity, partly due to Benefactor's 10 million buy for Gala, but someone has been exploiting this 10 million pool and burning a significant amount of Gala. Not really exploiting, but more arbitraging. They basically buy it on Gala Swap, then withdraw it, sell it to USDT, swap the USDT back or bridge it into galachain, and then just rinse and repeat. And that is why people were seeing an insane amount of burns yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think it reached 137 million last I checked, but don't quote me on that. You can check in the official Gala Burns Discord. There is a bug where cancelling an order on Gala Swap results in partial orders being suspended. So basically when you do a order and then a partial section of that order is filled, so say you do like 10,000 Gala swap for USDT, but then only like 8,000 get swapped and you still have 2,000 in there, and if you try and cancel that, that basically is the bug where the tokens get locked, and the Gala chain are working on that. Have you guys started using Gala Swap? I've tested it, as in I've looked at it and I've like made a bid with like Silk and Gala and that, but I haven't actually used it to swap and transfer funds.
I've not used it at all, to be honest.
Plugged in and I've played around, so I can like get an idea of how it works. The first launch, I don't think it was working too well because like none of the offers were coming up. I couldn't create an offer or a listing. But now it's working a lot better. Like I remember, so I was like, oh, I want to buy. What was I trying to buy? Gala. I was trying to swap Gala for Gala USDC or USDT. And so I was like, let me do like 1,000 Gala. And then it did like a partial, like it took from an offer that or a listing that had like 5,000. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because my fear, like using the Gala swap, I thought you had to like match offer for offer. Like I had to find somebody who was exactly trying to sell like 1,000 Gala for USDT, whereas like it can, partially take it from another offer that has the right amount for the offer. I thought that was pretty cool. The reason why I haven't used it is because right now I'm not looking to exchange my Gala for anything else. And if Hook, the Legend Reborn token, comes available on the swap, I'll probably use it for that if there's not enough utility for the token in the game.
Yep, makes sense. I'm also holding on to my Gala. I'm not swapping it out right now. Also, the liquidity in Gala swap, the people, or when Benefactor's feeling generous and does his little liquidity injection. But yeah, right now there's no liquidity pools. It's basically the community is the liquidity, so the people are trading back and forth. I do like the partial buy feature, which means you can just have the amount in there, and then when somebody is willing to swap it for that amount, yours gets partially filled. The only downside you have to be careful, guys, is since we are getting ready for the bull market to pump, if you have some orders in and it pumps like Gala pumps or BTC pumps like 20-30%, your prices are going to mismatch and somebody could get a really good deal on your previous price. So what I would recommend is before you go to sleep, either check your offer or just make sure you get rid of it, and when you wake up the next day, add it again. This will protect you from losing quite a bit if it does happen. But then it can also go the other way, right? Where if you leave it in and then it goes down or up, whichever way you're doing it, and it goes up or down 20%, then you could also get that as a bonus for yourself. But yeah, Gala Swap seems to be like the place where they're going to be building quite a lot of the liquidity for Gala chain to swap all the tokens on Gala chain back and forth, which is good. I was kind of worried if a third party developed that, because I'd rather have Gala do that so I know it's official and then I can actually use it properly. So that is nice to see. Now we move on to Legends Reborn, the game that you two love. NFTs are now correctly appearing in the right market section. Additionally, there have been several knowledge-based updates, including a new article providing information on workload for node licenses. And I think there was a bunch of updates for the Legends Reborn articles as well. Last week, they did introduce crafting. and you can now craft certain action cards by dismantling 4 or 5 of a specific type. So I believe there's 3. There's paper, ink, and then there's like 3 shards, which is orange or red, blue, and then green. So when you have to craft a certain card, you need to make sure you have the right shards, and then you get the paper and ink from dismantling majority of the cards, so you can swap that always back and forth. How are you guys finding the new Legends Reborn updates and the game since it has launched?
So we touched on the crafting feature last week, which I still think is really cool. Gives you pretty much access to any cards you want fairly easy now. With the battle pass being free, you can actually pull rare cards, so there's no excuse to be able to dismantle cards that you want. Games, still loving the game. It just does need some balancing desperately to make it near on perfect. And there is a sale on at the moment. Will we cover that now or in a while?
Yeah, I can switch over. You can talk about it. Let me go over to the website, and then you guys can give a rundown. So store, Legendary Board. So these two, right? The Legend Last Chance Basic Creature Pack, and then Last Chance Premium Creature Box. So if I do that and that, minimize this. So I'll do the basic one first, if you guys want to talk through that.
Go on, Khaos.
Yeah, I mean, when you say last chance, I'm not too sure like what that means exactly. If it's the last chance to buy it with Gala, because I remember somebody was talking about how after this, then they're only gonna sell the creature packs in Toke. But when it says last chance, it's like, or is it going to be pulled from the Gala store, or is it being changed? I can't remember exactly what it said, but yeah, I mean, the community has spoken. A lot of people saying that the price for these packs are way too high in terms of what you get for them. If you got more inside the packs, they could have even done it like Champions Arena where you got a bit of Dragonstone. So like, what's the point of just getting the creature and not getting any Dragonstones? They could have done like a combo where you get a creature plus some Dragonstones, so that way you can acquire action cards. But then if you're somebody like me who has a bunch of action cards and needs more creatures, then I won't really need the Dragonstones per se. But yeah, they still need to figure out like a better price or to add more value to the creature packs.
Didn't 8-Bit was saying a couple of days ago when he was on stream with me playing Helldivers that they used to do 3 creatures in the pack, and now it's only 1 for like just a discount on price, but it's not that much of a difference, right, in the price. So you've lost 2 creatures.
The
were
original
more
packs are
expensive.
more expensive though, a lot. So
Yeah.
it's kind of relative, but yeah, you do only pull 1 creature. This pack's not too bad. You can get a common to a rare in it, but the other pack is just not worth the risk. The other pack's like 7,000 gala, and you can pull rare, like there's tons of rares in there, and it's just like, you know, obviously if you pull an epic, an ancient, or a legendary, then happy days. But like if you buy that pack there and you get a rare, like that is just shit, really. Like,
I know, like you could go to OpenSea and get an epic for the same price. Like, you know, you can guarantee
That's like
get,
30 rares. 30 times 2%, 60% chance to get a rare. And then what?
Everyone knows how much I love this game, and like I've not touched this sale. I think this sale is so overpriced. I just think the price point of it is just way out of whack. So yeah, I've just voted with my wallet basically.
Yep, makes sense. Based on the information, the stats as well. If we go back to the store, I'm pretty sure the Champions Arena box, which we'll talk about in just a sec. So half of that has sold already, and only 51 of the basic creature boxes, and I guess 42 of the premium creature boxes have sold, compared to Champions Arena, who sold half of their stack. The thing with Champions Arena boxes, let me just touch on it real quick, is it's basically win-win. The The thing that you're pulling is 50% chance to get a champion stem cash, and there's 31% chance of getting the base cash, and then there's an 18 or 90% chance to get the additional cash. Basically, if you spend 110 gems in Champions Arena, if you need gems, it is equivalent. If you spend $112 in Champions Arena, it will get you 11,000 gems. The minimum you can pull from this is 11,000 gems. So even if you were going to buy gems for free, in the sense that you were going to do it anyway, this is such a good value for money, because you're guaranteed to get that. You're guaranteed to get 20k gems, which is almost double the value, or you get a pet or a legendary skin, which is more value for money. So if you just wanted to get gems, you could just pull this, get the pets, sell the pets for 2-3 times the box price, and then pull another 2-3 boxes. And that is what I mean by it being win-win. It benefits the community as well as the developers, because the developers are getting the money, right? Because they're doing the sale, but the community is getting the benefit of getting the percentages, which are fairly good. Now, I'm not saying Champions Arena has the best sales, because the previous one before that, the Champion sale, it wasn't exactly all that good, but people still bought it because it was fairly decent. But compared to these two, as Khaos and Shadow were talking about, it's not worth the risk. Also, Chuck says, that's why I bought none, not a good price. Chances are not good. Yo, what's up, Mojo?
CA1 is perfect.
Oh yeah, CA1's good.
Good value.
Mm-hmm.
If I manage to get a Nexus, I'll pull some of those packs, because I'm going to need some gems to upgrade the Nexus. So yeah, it's definitely a win for me.
Well, it's a 50% chance roughly for you to get gems, so it's just win-win. Like, Champions Arena have turned around. Like, when the game first launched, it was kind of like meh, but now with Liam at the head of development and them listening to the feedback and doing quite a lot of things, it's going in the right direction. Give them maybe 6 months to a year and it could be the go-to mobile game that people play. There is a steep, like, getting in if you want to earn, because you have to buy the NFTs, and the NFTs cost minting scrolls, which have a set value, but you can still play the game completely free as a Web 2 game, and you don't have to touch the Web 3 side. And when the sales do happen, you can get a fairly good distro. So if I go back to my original post real quick, and then I can show you my distro, which I got on sale day. Some people didn't believe me, but quite a lot of other people did get that. So I managed to get 1,405 gala on the 17th of April for playing on the 16th of April. And if we quickly go over to CoinGecko, I can show you what that's worth in the current price. So 1,405. So basically I made roughly $70 by playing Champions Arena, but you have to keep in mind I've put in more than $70. I've put in like a couple thousand. So if you're one of those ROI guys, we don't really talk about ROI here, but you can do the maths yourself. I plan to play Champions Arena for the next coming months. I'm going to continue playing it for a long time. Also, when I'm selling stuff for Champions Arena, I am not quitting the game. I am just reshuffling. Everybody sending me DMs like, oh my god, Smiling selling this Safrina, what do you know? Like, is the game going to shit? Like, what's happening? I was like, no bro, I just need to reshuffle. The Miranda's had a fire sale. I was going to see if I can sell the Safrina to get some Miranda stuff, but it looks like the Miranda's fire sale has died down, so I might just keep my Safrina. But yes, let me quickly go to Discord, because there's quite, actually let's leave that. But if you do want to check people in Champions Arena discussion, they posted what they got, and some people got 3,000 gala, somebody got 5,800 gala. I'm pretty sure Sampa, Kularula, and Nomad got like tens of thousands of gala, because they are the whales, they're the top 3. But yeah, good on them. Did you get anything good?
I annoyingly only played under half my games and got 1,800 gala, so I could have got like 3,500 gala.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think I missed 20 games as well, so I could got 1.6. I know.
I know for next time.
Yep. But that's another thing, guys. If you don't know, in the Champions Arena light paper, it says basically all the money that's spent that day, a percentage of it goes back into the pool that is distributed. So when sales days happens, or when there is an event and a lot of money is being spent on the game, you ideally want to be playing the arena and maxing out your arena battles, because you will be getting the distro that I just showed you a couple minutes ago, you have a chance to get something similar. Do keep in mind though that you need to have extra NFT champions to get the additional battle access like numbers, so you can farm more victory points, and then the victory points at reset is turned into the gala to victory point ratio. But yeah, I'm enjoying Champions Arena. It's putting in work. Like, I'm happy with the way Liam's doing it. We'll just have to wait and see for Guild Wars and the Tower of Honor are the two things that I'm waiting on now, because they have been following their roadmap pretty much on point. Like Q2 has started, they're doing quite a lot of those, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But let's get back to ahead of the game. So RFLXT Studios is the game, is the studio that has made the game Voyager Ascension. It is set to launch on April 23rd, so that is in 3 days. Tomorrow there will be an AMA on X with the team and Bitbender, so that was yesterday. They had a mini, like 15-20 minute AMA with the team, two of the people on the team, Tony and somebody else, and you can play that recording back if you go to Bitbender or RFX Studio and then go down to their posts about Voyager Ascension. Sinister also played the game with I can't remember the other Gala employee's name, but they did a good 2-3 hour session on Voyager Ascension. And there was also an interview with Sinister, Bitbender, Luke from the game, as you can see down here. This is one of the people on the team discussing all things Voyager Ascension and the season pass giveaway. Are you guys excited for Voyager? Do you have like a spaceship set up to get ready to do the 6x dimensional movement?
It looks really cool. It was giving me like a bit of like Star Fox vibes, if either of you remember that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll
get one
check
of
it out
those.
for sure. Doesn't look like something I'll play like main, but I'll for sure we'll check it out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I'll check it out, do some streams, maybe make some content, but I think I'm just going to be sticking to Champions Arena now that I can do the daily arenas manually and the majority of the gala games. Well, it depends if the season pass is good, right? So if their season pass is good and the earnings or leaderboards is different to gala and how they do it, then I guess it might be worth playing if you want to earn, because some people just play the Web3 games to earn and some people are there for both aspects. So I'll let you guys know in the live stream. You guys can check that out once the creators get access. If the creators get access, they should do, but we'll have to wait and see if we get access earlier. If not, then we'll just be joining the same time as you guys. Next up, one of the favorite games, One Universe or Champions Arena, has its recent sale that contains pets and avatar skins. Make sure to use the link smilinmonster.com/galagames when you're purchasing anything from the Gala Game store. Also, there is a giveaway live that is, I think it was from the 10th to the 16th, 26th, sorry. So you had 2 weeks to enter. You can find the link on my Twitter post right here, and you have a chance of winning quite a lot of things. Let me just switch over to there. So this is the interview with the RFX Studio and Bitbender, and then this is the Champions Arena box sale. You can see the pool rates for the legendary swimsuits, the pets, and the gems, as I was talking about earlier. We covered this. Also, the pets and no, just the pets, they give you a VP bonus. So if you get a legendary pet, it gives you a 2% VP bonus, and then you can stack it 4 times, because 4 of your team, well, 4 of your champions can each equip the pet. I stated previously last week that would be insane if somebody got like 60 pets and they get like a 60% a VP boost. I don't know if you can stack it with like 10 people in your team and you get that VP boost, or it just applies to the first 4. I guess we'll have to wait and find out, but I'm pretty sure it'll just be the 4 based on what Shadow said when I threw out that idea. And then if we go down to here is the Nexus update celebration. So this is the giveaway. So what you have to do is enter your name, your email, and you have to confirm to the rules. I'm guessing the email that you signed up to your account to make it more easier to find you or to get to contact you when you win the prize. You need to create an account, participate. You need to do these things to get points. So you can follow Champions Arena on Twitter, follow Galagames, share and retweet the post. And then every time you refer someone, you get 1 point. And the first to third will get a random legendary NFT champion. 4 to 10 will get a random epic champion. 11 to 30 will get a random rare champion, and 31st to 50 gets 10,000 paid gems. Now, if you put any incorrect information or if you engage in any unfair behavior, you will be automatically disqualified. So let's try and play fair. You don't want to be using bots or like scammy ways to participate, because they will find you and they will pretty much make it so you can't interact with the giveaways or maybe even future giveaways. And then we have an exciting alert. So if you are below the top 50, get ready for an extra dose of excitement. We will be hosting a random draw for 2 legendaries, 5 epics, and 10 rare giveaways. I'm pretty sure these are champions. So even if you don't rank in the top 50, you will still have a chance to win something. So good luck to the people participating. If you do want to participate in the giveaway, I have left a link in the comment section or the chat, so just click on that and then you just need to do all the information I said previously and you can sign up and have a chance to win something awesome. And then we have the pets special pet and skin sale here, which we went over previously. And then I don't think there was any other changes to that. Oh yeah, so there was a description on the male swimsuit and then the male school uniform. So at last week I said you wanted to pull the male swimsuit, the male school uniform, but you want to pull the male swimsuit because Toyomi swapped the skills. So the legendary school uniform male now gives you speed up 25% to all your teammates, and the legendary swimsuit male gives you the chance to, and that is 4 mana and you get attacked twice, I believe. So this is one of the most broken skins in the game if you can generate 4 mana before your DPS starts. And then the pet you wanted to either pull is Norman or Axis. Axis is generally good all round for any character, and then Norman is good for your DPS and your support. Did you guys get any boxes? I know Khaos doesn't play Champions Arena. What about you, Shadow?
No, I didn't buy any boxes yet. I kind of don't need any gems. And I really want some pets. I really want 4 epic pets. Just waiting to see what the secondary market does.
Yep. Some people have put them out for ridiculous prices because they think it's equivalent to legendary like champions. And I don't think it's the same because it doesn't cost you minting scrolls. But good luck trying to get that. I think we'll have to wait a week or 2 for the market to shuffle to what people are willing to pay for it.
Yeah. The outfits are like 10k gala, which I want my gala at this time.
Oh, yep, 100%.
So yeah,
agree with you there.
I see some epics going for. I've put some like 2,000 gala bids in for some of the epic pets. None of them have been accepted, obviously, yet. But that's where I am really. I don't really want to be spending too much capital.
Thank you for the raid, Willia. Hello, Genjo. Have a good stream. Thank you, man. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome everybody coming over to Guardians of the Galaverse. It's the podcast that keeps you up to date with the Gala ecosystem. Khaos still looks upset about losing to me in Legendary Born. 8-bit coming in with the shots fired. You want to retaliate, Khaos?
No, I can't say much, you know. I got outplayed, like, yo, I was annoyed, but it was a good match. Like, I was like, there's nothing I could do, and I was just like, I had to rage quit, and I was like, I'm gonna get him again. But I was really, you know what is, yeah, I was really impressed, like, because 8-bit tendies have gone back and forth, and I think I've won more games, but now with his new deck, that man's just out here killing people. Like, his deck is, I really like his deck because it's different from everyone else's. Like, so he's put time in that deck, and I've seen what he's done. I'm not gonna like call it out. Some of the action cards that he's put in, I was like, oh, that's quite clever. That works really well with because I was like, why does he have the green dragon? But his strategy and action cards he has in there is really well. So I'm really looking forward to our next match.
Yeah, the balance in his team is fucking awesome now. Like, I know, I know he bought that creature the other day. I was gonna, because I was talking to the guy about buying it as well. He's wanted too much money from me. Now that 8-Bit's got it in, I'm pretty certain he bought it from the same guy. And yeah, that team is just a menace. Like, it's got such good synergy of cards, and yeah, it makes it really challenging to get to certain creatures. And yeah, hats off for the deck, man. It's one of the best I've played. It's probably, other than Khaos's poison one, it's probably the best deck I've played that doesn't use bloody cheesy tome.
Or broken hero. He doesn't use like
Yeah,
AR and Wisp
yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that. Like it's a
yeah.
really good
There's
balance
nothing
there.
broke.
Like,
It's just fundamentally awesome. So yeah, hats off. Well done.
We've got a question from the Will. Smilinmonster, what is your thoughts on the new arena tiers being 500 ELO/trophies in Champions Arena to rank up? So what this means is, with the new update in Champions Arena, instead of it being 200 to raise to the next tier, it is now 500 gap. So a lot of people, like I am currently in Diamond rank 3284, and I'm bouncing between Diamond and Platinum and Masters. And as you can see, the top three are Cooler Ruler, Nomad, and Sampa. I could just show you right here. The three whales of the game basically dominating the top spot, which is understandable. Oh, there's a fourth one now. It's Pirote, and then we have like Jigga, Zeus, Ink, Grey Sun, Coca. I think Shadow's there. Yeah, where are you? Dubstep, there you go. Dubstep Rod and Shadow. Then you have Wu Lin, Austin, and Smilinmonster. There you go, right here. So I'm in like the top 20, 21. Shadow is like 19 or 18. Dubstep is just above Shadow right there. But it's an interesting change. I do think that a lot of the pool will now go towards like the top people though, because it's going to be harder to rank up. But the matchmaking has become better because you're getting paired with the same people of like the same power as who you can face, and then randomly you get the bot or you get the person that is higher or lower than you. What do you guys think of the, well, I guess what does Shadow think of the new change?
Oh, it's so much better. It is a mighty grind from silver up. And yeah, you're right. Like, I still haven't even managed to make it to the top tier yet. It's just so many games. And I'm guessing if you can get there, you'll be earning that high VP per game that you know, that just so many players won't be. And it's also like a lot of people don't have hundreds of games to play a day. So what are they doing? Are they just ranking up for free, or are they playing their games from their NFTs and then stopping and coming back? It's quite consistently good rewards from CA. Like if I could just run my 200 games a day, I'm pretty sure I would clear 100 gala a day. But I just can't play 200 games a day. It's just so.
It's because your team is manual. You have to play it manually. Where my team, I can put it on auto. It's not guaranteed I win as much, but it's still like a 50-50 chance, right? And also,
I can beat most people even on auto now. Like my team's so strong. Like as soon as
nice
passives works, it just wrecks. It's only if I like run into people like Ink, POA, Cooler Ruler, Sampa. Those like the Jigger, I can't beat him. Like those
Nomad,
those top dogs. Oh yeah, obviously no one can beat Nomad, but yeah, the rest of the people I can like beat on auto. It's just so.
Speaking of Ink, right here. But I'm on auto because I'm doing the podcast.
Guy. My God.
But yeah, I do agree. We have Crypto View in the house. What's up? Hello, 8-Bit. Holla, holla. The Will, I agree with the grid comment through silver, or the grind comment through silver. I stopped playing arena as soon as I hit the top 200. I plan to maintain whatever top 200 to get the minting scroll. That is a smart play. A lot of people are doing that now because the Nexus gives you 1 hour of champions, and you can basically use that every day to rank up, and then you just secure your position as the top 200 or the top 100 if you can get it to, no, not top 100, the top 50, if you can get it to that to push. One thing that people have been doing, because now that they have a set amount of battles to do, and now that the ranking has changed, they're basically playing the amount they need to hit, like the battle cap. Then they're automatically losing to just auto battling till they lose back down to, say, for example, if you're in plat and then you get up to diamond by manually playing, then after you've completed your matches, you just lose all the way back down to plat. So for the next day, you can win back up to diamond, and then that guarantees you like more wins, because otherwise it's a 50-50 chance. But if you like intentionally lose, you can get that 50% up to like 70% because you're facing lower tier champions at the start, and then you can kind of get more VP depending on how you do it. So quite a lot of people have started using that strategy because it is now a viable option with the current game mechanics. And some people don't like it, some people like it, but it's gamers being gamers. Since you've changed the features in certain ways, people are going to figure out how to do certain things. And I think it's completely fair. It's a legit tactic. So props to whoever's doing that, whoever's using it properly, whoever has the time to incorporate these tactics into the daily play. I am fairly busy, so I won't be able to use it efficiently, but I think it is a genius way to do quite a lot of the Nexus usage and then the back and forth between the VP points. I developed my Saphir.
I got a question actually. So would you say like by playing more games, it's more rewarding? Like you get to the higher brackets, or picking at like silver and platinum is okay, or you want to be playing as much games as possible to get to the higher brackets? And if you do get to like the top, like the highest bracket, which is what Champion Arena, are you only gonna face people in that bracket, or would they match you with who's available, regardless of their position?
It's still, if you're searching, you still will match with people a league above you, is what I've found. Like I've still, like yesterday when I was playing, I was still matching with like Cool Ruler and Co. And obviously I'm not in the same league as them. So they've definitely tightened it up. Before this update, it was really loose.
Yep. I think the top like 50, they just fight each other because that's generally they're roughly in the same power. And then when Cooler Ruler, Sampa, Nomad, like all the top people, they don't have opponents, they have to match with the rank underneath. So that's where like me, Shadow, Dubstep, like all of the people in Master or and like shuffle back and forth. And if you are, I'd say, above rank 50, then you want to play as many games as possible. But if you are under, and then depending on your team comp, right, because it depends if you can actually auto battle or higher. If you can't auto battle higher and you're relying on the Nexus daily, then I would say use the new tactic of like ranking down, using all your battles, and then getting to a position where you can farm VP efficiently. But then if you have like a good AoE and support, and then you can go up to like rank top 100, top 50, like in between, bouncing between there, and then use the Nexus to get that extra boost, then you might want to be also battling to get the highest rank possible. Because what I do is I rent a Miko or Juriel, and what that does, it puts me on par, or kind of on par with majority of the top people, because they have quite a lot of Mikos and Juriels. So I either get the gauge up or I get the speed down. And then since my support has the gauge up ring, I generally either go first or I survive enough to use my support to attack with my Zafrina. So basically depends on your equipment and your team comp. But yeah, ideally you want to try and continuously battle.
Right, makes sense.
The will, I am developing my Saphir if I can make it run to the top 50, but for now top 200 is fine. As long as you're getting a minting scroll a season, I think that's the best option for quite a lot of people. Once you start trying to push the top 50, you have to spend money in the game. But now with the new Nexus, you technically don't, because you can use the Nexus efficiently. If you build your other 3 champions just to support a champion that you use in the Nexus, then you could also basically have a working team, and then you can buy the Nexus ticket again for 150 pay gems every day. So you basically have 30 battles and then 2 hours of a Nexus champion. And then 2 hours of a Nexus champion is enough to do, I think, like 80 to 100 battles if you're playing manually and focusing for those 2 hours. So it is a viable strategy to do that as well. But yeah, I think Champions Arena is on point. All right, so we've completed Champions Arena. So moving on to Common Ground World. Common Ground World, the next event will feature sushi boats, and the next sale will be offering a legendary factory gourmet. The town hall will be held at the same time, which was yesterday in the morning for Americans. I think it's like 3 o'clock our time, but we're not really Common Ground World gurus. That is Dubstep Rod's role right there. So make sure you check out his streams for his no NFT builds, which should help you place top 1,200. And if you do rank top 1,200 is when you can start earning the gala rewards and getting those leaderboard payouts.
I have to start watching some Dubstep Rod's video, like, because I need to start playing. I'm not really earning any gala from Legends Reborn, and like the amount of earnings that people are getting from Common Ground World, like I'm gonna have to start looking into that, like free to play, because some of them NFTs are kind of expensive still.
There was a huge influx of Common Ground World NFTs on NFT Harbor. I think most of the good ones got swept instantly by the Common Ground World players because they were going on like fire sales as well. I think some guy was just getting out of Gala and he was selling like all of his shit, and he had quite a lot of Common Ground World stuff. But yeah, stuff was going for like 100, 50, like 200. Stuff that was worth 1,000 was going for like 200-300. So that got swapped instantly. But it might be a good idea for Dub to do a video of like, oh, if you don't have any NFTs, like here are the ones I would recommend to get like a good rush and then a good NFT that has value in majority of the metas. That could also be something we could look at by inviting Dub on in like an episode. So we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, teach us how to play Common Ground World, like just start from scratch and just explain to us what the hell he's doing.
How to make gasoline, how not to fuck up the first 2 hours of your build.
Exactly, bro. That.
If you have a Miranda's Dragon, you have an advantage because you technically don't need fuel, because the dragon sells stuff for free, but it does it in higher quantities. So when I play, I sell the first 2 batches of fuel, use the remaining 20 to get my cash flow running, and then I build 2-3 warehouses or storehouses and get my dragon to sell, and it's basically free to sell with the dragon. It does cost wages, but it don't have to supply it with any fuel, and that is the advantage of owning a dragon. So quite a lot of the people, when the Miranda's Dragons were dumping, the people that are playing Miranda's weren't picking it up. It was the people that are playing Common Ground World, because it has an additional utility in Common Ground World right now. And that utility is pretty busted if you play in competitions, because it takes 1 slot. You don't have to have the 4 other slots for the oil pump, the gasoline, the refinery. You just have 1 slot for the dragon. You don't have to feed it as well. They were talking about feeding it like sheep meat or like other types of meat, but that currently hasn't been implemented. So 1 slot for 5, and then 1 slot for 4 because you have to build an additional storage. But yeah, it makes sense just to have the dragon. But yeah, we can get Dubstep on and do that. Prospector, yes, making gasoline was a pain to learn in the beginning, bro. When it was 2020 2021 town start, I was learning it. I had to restart my town like 4 times, each with an hour's progress, because I would always run out of gasoline at the end. Like it would be like 3, I need 3 more gasoline to succeed, and then it doesn't work and I have to reset, and I'm like, why is this a thing? But then I figure out, oh, you don't sell wheat, you don't sell flour, you wait till you get the lumberjack, you get the higher sell orders in to generate the more revenue. But yeah, it's not as big as a learning curve as Legends Reborn per se, but it's got a similar learning curve because you have to learn the different mechanics and how the starting thing works. Like in Legends Reborn, once you learn the action cards or combos, it's fairly good. You understand it pretty well. Same thing with Common Ground World. Like once you understand like the different towns, different workers, different like branches of production, you can understand it pretty well. But the strategy comes into play when you build out your town for a specific meta. So a lot of the Common Ground World people are down to like the decimal point in terms of production, because if you have like a 0.2 advantage over somebody else in those 3 days, that 0.2 is gonna guarantee you the like 25th place instead of you being 26th, and that gala difference is amazing. So there are a lot of spreadsheet people in Common Ground World. But yeah, it's an interesting game we do have to check out. 2021, yes, yeah, exactly, Prospector. All right, moving on to Last Expedition. So Last Expedition's team is hard at working exciting new content. They released a 40-second video showcasing the game, as well as other video highlighting the upcoming updates. Rewards will be issued for this season's leaderboards, and the top 10 of this season's leaderboards have gotten a special reward, or they will receive a special reward. So I'm going to go over to Last Expedition's Twitter, and I believe this is the video they played. I'm going to do it without sound, obviously, just to be safe, but this is the video. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So you can see Jasper there, you can see Levi there, you can see Sebastian right there, and then Alice killing some monsters and returning to the team. And if you look at the background, I'm pretty sure this is a new map. This isn't like the current map or the current terrain in the game, but Last Expedition mission ready. So you never know, maybe crafting and missions will be coming to Last Expedition, and they do this rough. Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody said like it could be, the missions could be like Helldivers. I haven't played Helldivers, but like what did they mean by saying that?
You basically have to, you drop on the planet and then you have to complete specific objectives. But I don't think they could do it similar to Helldivers, because Helldivers is not a different genre, but has a different type of gameplay loop. But for Last Expedition, you could do like jump in and kill like 2 Ravagers, or jump in and kill 3 people, or jump in and loot 2 minerals. So it'd be like general quests. But if they do have a game mode which copies like just PvE of Helldivers, then yeah. Also, there's like updates here. This is like the terminal. I'm guessing this is what they're going to use for the crafting side and all the resources that you're currently earning. So the crystal, not the crystal, the shard, the core, and the minerals will probably be used here. And then the other videos here are showcasing the characters' special abilities. Jasper's shield wall is a very good defensive ability like this, but some people are madmen and they use it offensively. They just run into a team and then drop the shield wall, and when you get hit by the shield wall, it does explosive damage. Well, not explosive, it does force damage back. So yeah, people have been using it like madmen as well. But here are some of the additional videos. This is the gala symbol. Prospector, remember there was no guides for Townstar back then, and barely any YouTube videos about Townstar. Oh, 100%. There was like blog posts and websites that had text guides, but no video guides. I remember I had a website bookmarked like how to produce gasoline, and I read that like almost every competition.
Like the people who knew how to play the game like was just excelling, and everybody else like me who was trying to figure shit out, I was like, I just can't get this. I thought it'd be like some simple game like Farmville. It's not no Farmville, bro. It's like theme hospital and management and whatnot. But yeah, the people at the beginning who figured it out, yo, they was making a killing.
Well, especially when town coin earnings were first introduced and NFT rarity and all the points started becoming a thing. But yeah, that is the Last Expedition videos and updates right there. What is the next one? Oh, well, I can move that over to, that goes there. So the next one is the GG Collective's game NFTD, which won the Galachain Hackathon. Had an interview of the members with the team with Sinister discussing all things NFTD. So if you guys don't know, this is NFTD. You go to nftd.gg and you can actively play this game for free. If you link your wallet and you have certain NFTs in your wallet, I believe it doesn't matter if it's on Galachain because it checks ETH and Galachain, because some of the Fortitude NFTs are on ETH, like the Snoop boxes are on ETH, the 888 Brew Realm NFTs are on ETH, and I believe those are the towers that are currently in the game. But you can check it out right here. You can learn more by clicking on this link right here, and it gives you a guide, teaches you the basics of what the game is, like what the towers are. So the Fortitude Arrow Tower is now a arrow tower in NFTD. The cannon tower is now a cannon tower in NFTD. Well, not now a tower. It's basically you can use the NFT to unlock a certain tower in this game. So make sure you check it out right there. And they did win Galachain's hackathon. So I believe the prize pool was like $450,000. So congrats to the team again. Like GG's.
Big bucks.
Next up is the merch update. So everybody is eager for merch and the efforts are on the way to get that up and running. I believe he said they had issues with the old publisher, because some people said, oh yeah, they got the merch and it arrived on time, and some people said the merch hasn't arrived, or they have no idea. Whoops, I hit my mic. They have no idea if they're going to receive it. I am still waiting on my Ahead of the Game hoodie, which was on episode 10 of Ahead of the Game, and it's episode 47 of Ahead of the Game, so I'm waiting 37 weeks. Where's my hoodie? I need that merch to rep Gala. Right now I'm repping, what is this? This is Falma? I'm repping Falma. This should say Gala right here. Like, you guys are missing out on free publicity right there. But yeah, I need more merch. Chair Bandit did say that they're going to be more varieties as well of like more merch. It's not just going to be clothes. It might be like mouse mats and like mugs and like all of this other stuff.
But you could have flown to Taiwan to get them to design you a whole new outfit, gala merch, like hat, hoodie, sweatshirt, trainers, shoes, and flown back to the UK and still be waiting for the gala merch to come true.
Legit, bro. But the thing is, apparently the old distributor was in Poland. We're in the UK. It's 2 hours away, bro. Just send that package. It's like 2 countries off. Legit, I was like, yo, where's the manufacturing? It's like, I need my Head of the Game hoodie by the Gala Game Company. But yeah, so that is the merch update. This is the important piece of information if you like Echoes of Empire. So there was an update for Echoes of Empire, which is the GG EOE game on Twitter or X. The IP will soon be transferred to the Gala team. So Gala is in the works. We're talking to Ion Studios about transferring the IP of Echoes of Empire over to Gala. And my guess is that it's going to go to the Chilean team. The Chilean team are going to create like 4 floors of devs for Chilean HQ, and everything that is under Gala's banner, you can say, will be run by the Chilean team. That is my prediction. I think it's going in that order because Gala's having issues with timelines and like roadmaps with people that are working externally. And if they have everybody that like they've built Gala HQ, they know the advantage and productivity increase in Gala HQ. So they're just like, oh, we might as well get a dev Gala HQ, which is the Chilean HQ, have like 100 devs like building on all of our games. And then if we have a problem, we just contact Pablo Musashi. He goes to whichever department that it needs to go to. He sorts that shit out. And then Gala's good because they have a point of contact, which is Musashi. And Musashi has the contact to like the 5-6 other dev teams. Also, if you guys want to see, Shadowknyte is bullying me in Champions Arena as we speak right here. Okay, moving on to the next pit of peace. Moving on to the next.
Smiling. Give him hell.
I try, but my Durex did the right thing. It stunned the Beckett. So maybe the auto battle. I don't think auto battle is going to beat Shadow. But yeah, Mazafrida's almost dead. Next up, we have the news for The Walking Dead and the Miranda's team, which was basically Gala is going through some internal changes, particularly with Miranda's and Walking Dead, and the dev teams have been replaced with the new Chilean team, and they are looking over the code, getting used to the code, figuring out when the next playtest or when the next updates will be available for each game. The Miranda's game was meant to be out during this month or maybe next month, but maybe that's going to be a bit delayed. Hopefully we still get something for Mayhem, but fingers crossed. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And then The Walking Dead is still in a public playtest, so you can play it right now, but there is no updates, and we don't know when the next update will happen. We have a Miranda's Promises spreadsheet that we'll go over just before the end of the podcast, But yeah, the next 20 minutes was much of the much needed AMA, where Bitbender was asking questions, like answering questions back and forth from the community and from Gala Gold chat and the YouTube chat. One thing I did miss that Tofu reminded me on this ahead of the game post was the information about the Voxverse. So Voxverse, it is said that Will Wright is no longer working on the project, but they're still in contact with him, so there might be an option of him coming back during the later stages. Also, if we look here by Stuck Pixel and Major Malfunction, it is no longer like Voxverse is no longer going to be a like open world sandbox thingy type game. It is now a mobile game, like colony sim type game. There will also be, where is it? This post right here. I don't think Clueless, but a large-scale metaverse is a ton more harder to build than people think. And what Stuck said, we need to get something out. The poor Voxes are bored. So this statement I don't technically agree with. If you're building a game, if you were promised a certain type of game, then I don't mind waiting for that game. Even though with all the things that happened with Voxus and I guess with Mirandus, people are like getting antsy. Well, mainly Gala side, because it's been like 2-3 years and they don't have a like basic build to show for it. But continuing with the Vox, what the future holds is anyone's guess. That's not a really good statement to say, but I get where he's coming from, because he's basically taken over the Voxverse project and it wasn't exactly a lot in that project to begin with, so they're piecing everything else together. There was a ton to like about Will's vision. Some of that will be incorporated into the game in the later stages, likes, needs, social, etc. But an expansive world was just totally out of the scope for the team size we had and have. And I have to say, in this new regimen, we will just be honest with what we are at and try to cover as many promises as possible. So it's no longer going to be like the Minecraft metaverse type game, like Gala's metaverse type game with all the Voxes. It's going to be another type of game. There is also going to be more than one game. There might be additional games that combo to each other. Like currently you can play the Discord mini game with your Voxes if you go over to here. And then if you have a Vox, you can play like Discord Odyssey, Vox Odyssey, sorry. And you can basically get your stats and level up, get resources. Those resources will be transferred over to the new game, not 1-to-1. I don't know if the stats are transferred 1-to-1, but if you're still playing this, rejoice. Like as you can see, somebody's checking their food. Oh, Observer is checking his food, metal and cloth. So if you are a Voxos fan, they are working on an update. They have scrapped the idea of launching version 0 because there is just not enough features and content in version 0. They will now be launching version 1 off the bat, so I believe the date is late May or early June for version 1 launch, and it's going to be a mobile game, so it should be on the App Store. It should be downloadable in APK. But yeah, that was the Vox news that I missed in ahead of the game, and that is the ahead of the game summary.
Did you see the video of the Vox first that they
Yes, I think it was here, right? Actually, if we just go to, so if you guys don't know, there is a channel called Chattervox, and it's by Tofu and Jefe, or Hefe, I don't know how you say it, but they have everything you need to know about the Chatterbox. They record the Chatterbox is Discord sessions and they post an episode. So there was another episode yesterday, one day ago, and I believe this is the one you want to watch, which is Chattervox version 1. And then as you can see here, Tofu, or Lost in the Voxverse, just basically goes through everything that was in the video. No, that is not right there. Let me go to this one. Is it here? You can basically see screenshots and gameplay of what the game will look like. Like here you go. This is going to be your frontier. You can drag your Vox into that frontier. You can see here, these are the slots. You can see what they're gathering. And it's basically I believe it was a 2-minute video. So I'm just gonna let it play in the background without sound, because I don't want no issues with YouTube. But as you can see, it's like a completely different game. You get like a grid of your I guess your world or your chunk of the world, and then you use your Vox to gather resources. Currently, you can't do nothing with the resources. Version 1 is you gathering and accumulating as much resources as possible. Then version 2 and 3 is when you start being able to use those resources and building with those resources, maybe even trading with other people in the game. You never know. But yeah, currently it's going to be another idle like gathering game or idle clicker type game, similar to similar to Vox Odyssey on Discord. But what do you guys think?
No, it's really annoying because obviously I bought my Vox because like of the dream of Will Wright, like the vision, the game, but they spoke about the stuff you could do, the open world. I was like, this is gonna be so fun, so cool, so immersive. Love the art style, the colors. I was like, yeah. So they're buying a whole bunch of different Voxes, and then some of them got cheaper, and I started to buy more. And then it's just not the game that was sold to me, and I'm like, I don't even know if I will play this game. Maybe like if I'm at work and I'm bored, I'm traveling somewhere, I might log in, and depending on what you can actually do and how fun it is. But I don't know, like when you're excited about a game and you can't wait to play it, and then the developers turn around and say, yeah, we're gonna change it, and it's not even like a small change or something like that. It's like a whole completely different game. So I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed. So hopefully there will be other utilities for these Vox in other games. Like hopefully there'll be that core utility for my Walking Dead Empire Vox, Miranda's Vox, but we don't even know what's gonna happen with Miranda's and their Vox. So hopefully I'll get some values from a Vox that way. But yeah, I bought a lot of my Vox based on the original idea and original vision of the game.
100%. I remember when the Minecraft Voxes were on sale, I bought 4 of those bad boys. Think what? Yeah, as Prospector said, hell yeah, those Voxes were expensive. It was like 16 grand for 4 Voxes, and now they're not as much, which we don't really talk about the ups and downs of the NFTs that you bought. But the utility and the vision is basically where we're at. So I'm still keeping my Miranda's Voxes because I'm going to be using it in Miranda's. And if you pair a Miranda's Exemplar with the same Vox, you're going to get a bonus to a specific ability. Or in the previous playtest, it was just like a flat health boost. But with the game going forward, it will be a better bonus. Hopefully, we don't know now because the Chilean team's taken over and the visions have changed, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll talk to the visions and promises in just a sec. But The Walking Dead as well, I'm probably going to keep those Voxes because they'll probably have a similar use case. But I was sold on the vision of being like the metaverse Minecraft, where you could just go in, discover different parts of the land, different geographies, different terrain, like interact with other people, play with other people, use your Voxes to accumulate resources, like trade those resources back and forth, build stuff. And now this new game is kind of similar to RimWorld, which I don't mind because I love RimWorld. But it wasn't the game I was promised. I'm still kind of okay with I'm not okay with it being an idle clicker, but since it's similar to like the RimWorld Colony Sim, I don't mind that as much. As long as they use this as like the base game, get all the tech, all the features up and running in this version, and then evolve it onto something else, like later on down the line, where they have more time and more teammates and devs to focus and get this thing up and running. For now, I guess it will do. They're trying to make sure the promises are fulfilled so they don't have any issues on the back end. But once again, check out Chatterbox. I'm not subscribed because this is my YouTube channel for recording and tutorials, but on the main one, definitely subscribe. And if you want information, turn on that notification bell. Like the video as well, which you should be doing for this video with the podcast. Like while you're down there, smash that like button, turn on that bell so every week you know whenever we go live. Make sure to smash and follow over on Twitter, and if you have your Amazon Prime sub, make sure to use that on the channel. It is much appreciated. Now let's move on to the meat of the episode, which is basically going to be the Miranda's Promises and Perceptions. Now, this is the document that Bitbender linked, and somebody did delete it, but then I think Rusty Spork restored it, and then Cool basically said, I'm going to do my own one because I don't want to deal with all the trolls, which is understandable. That is why I didn't do the fan base CA wiki. I let Classy, when he was like Jesus Martinez back then, he did the whole thing on a website, and I was like, yeah, you do that, bro. I ain't dealing with the option of somebody trolling the fan base wiki when I spent all that time in that. I still have like half of the Walking Dead wiki, but then the math released, or the GG Collective released that awesome tool. So it's like, okay, you guys do that, I'll promote that tool because that is awesome. So we're not going to be using this spreadsheet, we're going to be using this spreadsheet. And this was made by Cool, one of the members of the community who really is into Minecraft. He's got 4 tabs right here. He's got vision and promises. He's got NFTs. He's got the websites where you get the information from. He's got the articles on where they say certain things were, the community submissions, which was basically the previous spreadsheet, and his changed logs. So I guess we can go over.
Did he do this himself, or did he get help from the community?
Majority of it was from himself. Some of these were from the community. So you can see here, Rusty Spork, Smilinmonster, Webskit, Dirty Dan, like, oh, and then General, like some of these. But the first 4 pages is him compiling all the information himself, which props to him, bro. Like, I was thinking of doing something similar, but I've been busy the last couple of days, and I appreciate him putting it together. The one thing that the community has said is, like, doesn't Gala have a list of all the things that they have already promised the community? So why are they asking the community to make a list again? Some people are just saying, oh, it's just to make sure everything is working and that Gala have got everything correctly. Other people have mentioned that it's to cross-reference, and any of the things that are not mentioned by the community, Gala's just going to tick that off as like, oh, they forgot, so we don't need to add that. So there's both sides. There's the fudders and there's the hopers. You know, I'm trying to be in the middle, showing both cases, both sides. So let's quickly start off with the community submissions. And then
diplomatic, right?
Well, yeah, you got to have both sides, right? You can't just show one side, especially if you're a creator. You got to try and get both sides out there. So I don't think the priority matters because they reworded it was like the number of promises. But the first one is make Miranda's hard. The second one was no instancing. This means it is a single continuous world. I think quite a lot of people want that. Make Miranda's hard is the one that a lot of people do want. They want like the Dark Souls MMO medieval, like Ultima Online, Albion Online, like PvP, well, not PvP, brutal type of gameplay. I would like PvP in the game though, now that that's on the table, because it's a new team. So like some changes could be slowly thrown in there. I'm pretty sure Bitbend is going to be pushing for free to play. I'm pushing for PvP. It doesn't have to be open world on like the whole world of Miranda's, but if you guys have played like the old school RuneScape Wilderness, or if you played Albion Online, you go to like the black zone instead of like the blue and yellow zones, then once you step into those areas, it's basically no man's land and it's full loot PvP, which I do enjoy. You can also play the game completely free. You don't have to participate in PvP because it doesn't give you any advantages, but it is an option available for the people that do enjoy it. Also, as a gaming publisher standpoint, it makes sense because PvP opens up a lot of recycling of gear or some type of gear economy going back and forth. And one of the promises said that they will not be spending, they will not be selling NFT crafted gear, weapons, armor, etc. But they can bypass that by selling components, right? So, oh, here's like the PvP gear component box with like 5,000 wood, 5,000 cloth, 5,000 metal, go craft your gear sets type thing. So it makes sense as a company, like it's a no-brainer that way. Next up, we have tents cannot be placed in the wild. The community is going back and forth between this. Some people are like, you should be able to place tents anywhere. And some people are like, no, you have to place them in the designated building slots. You own your NFTs. You own your NFTs. A Discord or Gala account cannot change this, which is understandable that in your wallet, you own that stuff. Well, I guess if it's on Galachain, since Galachain's V2 upgrade, they have like certain things where they can like stop the chain and they can do like well, a whole bunch of other things. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. Feel free to jump in if you have anything to say about these. I'm just going to quickly breeze through them. You have, there will only ever be 50,000 exemplars, which is everybody knows that. This is by me. They shouldn't increase the exemplar limit, especially if they're going to go free to play, because it'll be like The Walking Dead. You go into the game free to play, you can play the game completely free. You don't have to touch the blockchain side. But if you want to like transfer the levels or lend out your hero or rent your hero, then you're going to need an exemplar NFT, and that is when you can start doing all the other blockchain type epic stuff that will be introduced in the future.
They have to create new heroes, because like with Walking Dead Empire, they got certain heroes that are not NFT. They're just like the basic database heroes. Or would they create new races, I should say, for Miranda's for the free to play?
No, I think they'll just create. They use the same 3D render model as a human. Everybody gets access to a free human. They just don't have the abilities of the exemplars of the human exemplars. So like the sailor or the pit fighter or the riders of the north, they get bonuses to certain things. You'll just be like a default human. Play the game for free. It's a database. You can't transfer your stuff unless you're selling it in the market back and forth. You can't like transfer it through galachain unless at some point. Well, no, you can't mint your hero because that will increase the exemplars unless they're not called exemplars and they're called free to play characters, and then you can mint those. There's a whole like there's all sorts of ways you can loop around, and there's all sorts of ways you can stay true to the vision. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how they handle it. No more deeds, so there's only ever going to be 1,650 deeds. A lot of this information is on the Miranda's websites in the AMA previously. Renting building spots in other deeds, so you basically have to put a land deed and then you have to put a renting or the building deed. Make Miranda's hard, which was a duplicate right here. Well, let's not do this. Let's go over to Cole's one because I'm pretty sure he's organized it better. But you have all the article information here. I will leave a link to the spreadsheet in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it yourself while scrolling along during the podcast. I sent the links in both YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, so feel free to jump. One thing I do want to pay attention to, though, is if we go to Miranda's Hub. So if you don't know, Miranda's Hub is built by Hammerhand, the community the community member who was really passionate about Miranda's. And if you go over to here and you go over to exemplars, right? So we're on the exemplars, and then you click elf. And then you have the Allsight elf. So as you can see here, there is a big description for the Allsight elf. It has a couple of paragraphs about it. However, I bought my Allsight elf on the first sale for this line right here. However, possibly more importantly, Allsight elves also have a bonus towards chance encounters that range from opportunities from great fortune to which those grant them the best advantage in combat. So this is kind of like a luck stat. And then if you read the other stuff, it's related to time travel and being able to do like time type of things. And if we go over to the Galagames website, they've summarized it into like one sentence, and I'm not happy with that. I know they did this like last year or the year before, but now that there's a change, I want the old one, like the old description, to come back. I want that line in there. I'm gonna fight for this. This description needs to be in the Allsight elf. Yes. Where is it? There you go.
Speaking about that website, Hammond, I was watching his latest video, and he's kind of like sold out. He said he's gonna keep some of his Miranda's NFTs, I think the buildings, but he sold his elf, sold some other exemplars. I was like, what? Like he said, he was so passionate about the game. So when he started to sell out, I was like, damn.
I don't think it was more of a seller. I think it was more of a de-risking, because all of these people had a lot of Miranda's NFTs. Well, not Hammerhand per se, but a lot of people bought more because it was McCarthy's vision and they kind of thought the game was safe. But now McCarthy's been replaced, like the team has been swapped out, the vision might not be the same. So a lot of people were buying just like extra exemplars, like 50, 60, or 100 extra exemplars to rent out to people. And that was like their passive income or like another way for them to make money. But now that might not be on the table, or it might come later on. So they're just getting rid of all that extra shit, and they're keeping like their Allsight elf and maybe their land or ship that they might use in the game, and getting rid of all the extra stuff they had on the side.
He sold his Everflow, though. He sold his Everflow elf. Like, I mean, he did say he's gonna keep some other NFTs, but like, yeah, he sold his elf, and I was like, cool. Again, like I said, other people like had loads of exemplars that just like they probably got overexposed and they're just de-risking. But
Mm-hmm.
when I saw his video, I was like, yeah, because I remember how long it took him to get it and like how much he spent on getting it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, cool. Like, what I mean? Like, you got
Welcome
it.
to the club.
Yeah.
Yep, I feel you, bro. I still have my Allsight L5, but that was the first ever NFT I bought. It hasn't moved from that wallet. It hasn't moved from that account. It's
Bro,
stayed there for 4 years now. 3 years.
Hey, bro, my Everflow, like I got it when they launched it. The night I stayed up, I missed the first batch. I missed the second batch, and then I think it was like an hour later. They was doing it like certain times. I set
Yep.
my alarm. I woke up at 2 a.m. Our time, and I bought it, and I got it, and I was like, cool. Paid a lot of gala for it, and I was like, nice. And I'm from then till now, like regardless of whatever the game does, if it comes out or if it's a flop, whatever, that Everflow elf is gonna burn a fucking hole in my hand, bro. I'm not. I'll rather just keep it. I'll just keep it as a souvenir, and
it's my
PF,
first NFT, so I don't think I'm gonna trade it out unless I plan to get out of Miranda's or move that funds into another game that Gala releases that I think will do better than Miranda's. But yeah, I'm pretty much keeping my Allsight elf. But I return the description. This one just says the most dangerous and the most mysterious and old and elven races. It is said they exist across time, letting them focus on something inside of our future. Bonus to range weapons damage. This is not the same as this. Change it back. I'm starting a petition. Sign the petition.
Bro, that's a whole paragraph and it went to one sentence.
Like even the bright sun, like you have an Everflow, right? Let's go to Everflow.
Yeah.
So Everflow, it has all of this for it. And if we go back, it limits the sentence down to, I think, 2 lines. Everflow, there it is. These elves meditate on the art of continuity and do not have a language for casting. They believe spells are just energy passing through, bonus to casting speed. Now, if you read the Miranda's Hub, the old description of 2021, elves are the rarest of the intelligent creatures that populate the world of Miranda's, and even rarer among them are the magnificent Everflow elves. Every elf has a deep and intrinsic understanding of magical energy, but Everflow elves spend extremely long lifetimes studying and meditating on the conductive flow of magic. They view magic as not as a doctrine of spells to be cast, but as a natural flow of energy which when harnessed correctly, can overcome any obstacle and perform even the most challenging tasks with both strength and ease. Everflow elves are exquisitely beautiful to behold, and those who are fortunate enough to know them personally are sometimes able to share in the benefits of their magic. As exemplars, Everflow elves are given a powerful bonus to casting speed. So compare both of those descriptions, right? I bought the Allsight elf for the 2021 description, not for this new 2022, 23, 24 description. And if you see here, it just says you get bonus to casting speed, but here it also says their teammates could also benefit of their magic. So maybe it gives you like a party buff to like reduce casting speed, or like there's all sorts of other things you can get from this description compared to the old description. But yeah, I want the old description back. Also, as Prospector said, Jake from On-Chain Gaming sold, Grill from Masters of Materium started to get rid of all his extra exemplars. Last year seems like he got out just in time. Well, he got out and then I think he came back in. And then he just got rid of all his Majestic stuff. Majestic stable, like quite a lot of the large weapons drops, all of the legendary buildings that he had, he sold for like dirt cheap compared to their original prices. Like 4 to 5k when they were like 15, 20k, maybe even more.
At least people are still buying. Like it's not like everybody just started dumping. Like people are still hopeful. I mean, yeah, and it's like crazy, like, because if the game is successful, like these people are getting some of these majestic NFTs, legendary entities, ancient entities for like crazy cheap. But it's good to see that there's still people that's confident, hopeful for the game. So that's a good thing.
Well, it's most people are thinking of it this way, right? So all the OG people are the people in 2020, 2021 that are paid the expensive price because it was 2021 bull run. Now that they're going on sale, it's like it's still expensive for your average gamer, but it's 90% less than what they paid back then. So it's kind of more affordable. So a lot of people are willing to step in at these prices compared to like the 12k docks and ships and 15k buildings and 5k elves. Like here, Everflow Elf sold for $786. Like you're more likely to pay the game buying an elf at this price than buying it at 5k, right? So quite a lot of people that were looking at Mirandus on the sidelines, they were like, oh, well, it's cheaper now and it doesn't cost as much. I can get in. For example, Dock 740, this large potion shop, 6.5 grand. Now 6.5 grand is a lot for your average gamer, but for the people that were spending like 10 grand, 20 grand, this is a discount for them. But yeah, you can see all of these things being sold randomly. Farming hamlets for 2.3k, dragon vouchers for 30, archery stands, weapon stands. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's still a lot of money, 6k, 2.5k for a game that's even more unsure, even more uncertain. So for people to, I don't know, maybe these people got a lot of money, like, so to them that's like me spending, the difference between Nando's or McDonald's, So to them it's like, yeah, it's cheap, innit? It's not that expensive. But to me it's like, yo, that's crazy amount of money to put into a game that you're just unsure about. But so that's why I was like, yeah, it's good to see that some people are still hopeful.
It's like the people that had like Ethereum when it was like $40 and now it's worth like $3,000, and they're like, oh, I'll just put 10 ETH into this, and they forget that 10 ETH is no longer $400, it's now 30 grand, and they're like, oh yeah, the prices have changed, but I'm still in like the old mindset. So once they do that, I was like, oh, I'll just put 30 grand in Mirandus. So I was like, what can I buy with that? I can buy all of this shit. Let me just get that type of thing. But some people have insane mentality. Some people have insane wallets. Everybody's like perspective is different. So yeah, stay to what you want. Like Ahoy going for, well, 1.7 is not bad. I think there was a cheaper one. There's like 1.1, 1.5. But yeah, so many deals over the last 2 weeks. If you guys are still interested in Mirandus, I did manage to pick up a horse, not the rare ones, the ones that can breed, but a normal horse, and I managed to pick up my Kreia again. So I sold my Kreia during the shipwreck sale for like 30k gala, and then I managed to buy one back for 10k gala, so I just made 20k gala. But the downside is no. The downside is I bought my first Kreia on the ship sale, which was 8 grand, and I sold it for 1 grand, so I lost. But I doubled my gala, so I need gala to 10x before I get the money back. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying people are bought it at like ridiculous prices and they're selling it for less, and these new people, like Homestead's going for 500. That has never been heard of until a couple recently. Ranching hamlets, like farming hamlets, all going for like 2 to 3k. It's expensive for your average gamer, but for the previous prices, like you can just check. Let's check the ranching hamlet, right? Just click on it, and then you can go down here, and then you can see the actual sales of what happened not 11 to 12 days ago, but like 3 months ago. 7,000 USD, and now it's selling for what, a third of the price? 3.1 ETH, 2.05 ETH. This is 4 months ago. 6.6k, 9k, 3.5 ETH, 9,000, 6,000. Well, that was sell reverse, sorry. But yeah, 420k gala v1, 7 ETH during bull run prices, like 8 ETH bull run prices. See this? And now you can get it for 1.2 ETH. So people looking at that think it's a deal, and they might be flipping it as well. Some people might just come in to flip, because during the day that this sale was happening, a lot of people on OpenSea saw Mirandus as the front page in terms of volume, and they're like, oh, what's happening? And then the speculators and buyers and flippers come in. It's like, oh, this is worth this. maybe buy this, flip it for this, put in some like bids like that back and forth. But let's quickly wrap up with the visions and promises calls version. So basically calls version is basically a document that is intended for McCarthy's vision is maintained as much as possible and spoken as accurately as possible. So it basically lists how many times a certain thing was said, how many times it was promised, and as well as dated as well. This man's a god basically for doing this. From November 30, 2020, the Miranda's money deeds. Yeah, cool. You can just close the, yeah, there you go. Deeds and buildings were on sale. Then the classic MMORPG adventure, the true ownership. But let's just quickly go over the 28 things that he's mentioned that quite a lot of people will want for Miranda. So to stimulate a medieval fantasy world, as mentioned 30 times. Item ownership and player ran economy, which was mentioned 23 times. It is an exploration and adventure game, mentioned 18 times. Monopolists and scarcity, 15 times. The land of Mirandus is mysterious, 13 times. Death penalties are high. Heroes are heroes. It is not timed based, 13 times. Hundreds of players in one area, which is 12 times. I remember Jay Hughes was saying they can get an instance of 1,000. That doesn't mean 1,000 players. It means 1,000 NPCs, creatures, and players in one region at a time based on the current code and current engine. The game is a PvP experience, 11 times. Materium is magic, which is 10 times. You can share your deed building keys with your friends. So this is basically like if you own a deed or building, you can give a key and they have access to your deed and building. You can give them like discounts and like all the other things that normally happen in majority of the games. Nighttime is dark and difficult, as we saw in the previous playtest, unless you have a dark elf or a lantern of the sun. Crafting is on chain but makes an NFT on chain, so I think this should probably be revised, because if you've played Star Atlas and then with meme coin season happening on Star Atlas, it basically makes, well, I guess crafting is fine on chain, but all action shouldn't be on chain. Arena for PvP, I would like a RuneScape Wilderness PvP or an Albion Black Zone PvP, as I have mentioned. Everything uses energy. Energy is important for everything. It's a one world system. Homes as storage and sleep, cooking, etc. Big deeds will have walls with more repellent for monsters. So the higher rarity your deed is, the more bonuses, the more defenses you'll have. A canoe down a river. Canoes as mounts. This was mentioned 6 times. The other ones was also mentioned 6 times. Hidden areas, items, materials in the world, mentioned 5 times. There are familiars and pets in Miranda's, mentioned 5 times, e.g. the dragon voucher and the dragon pet. Monsters can aggro based on sound, which makes sense because they were getting that ready in some of the fireside chats that we're saying. Players want material. That is an understatement. Parts of the game should require a large party. Yep, like a raid, a social raid, social-based adventuring. Yep, you have to have an exemplar to play. This is probably going to be changed to a free-to-play model, which makes sense from a company perspective compared to like a developer's perspective. Deeds give titles that gives buffs, so you can assign your friends to have like a knighthood or a guard, and they get certain buffs while they're actively on your deed. Faction PvP. So there were 5 citadels. The 5 citadels could recruit people, and there could be PvP between the citadels in like a seasonal or monthly tournament. The deck of time cards, which is basically like D&D's deck of many things. The deed and building upgrades, which was mentioned 2 times, and that is the end of the quick reference list. And then if you want to go over any of the additional notes by call, and then you want to spend your time going through this document, I have left a list. I have posted it in the comment section as well, and you can find it in the Gala Discord. You should also be able to find it in my Discord under Miranda's discussion. And yeah, props to the guy for doing all of this. Tofu, did I mix any Vox stuff? Only the Vox information that you told me that I missed on Header Game. I did say that earlier on in the podcast, like when a Header Game episode said Vox was a thing. But Shadow, I know you're not I know you wasn't interested in Miranda's, but what are your thoughts on the promises and the vision of Miranda's, of what the old team is, and what do you think will happen going forward from like an outsider's viewpoint?
like you said off the rip, like you know, why do we need to tell them the promises that they've made? Like, you know, that it shouldn't be down to the community to, you know, keep you in check. Like, you've just binned off the golden team from your whole company to go with a team that has no RPG experience.
Well, they have RPG experience, but they don't have MMO RPG experiences.
Okay, all right.
You have to add the 3 words because then you chair bandit or one of the other mods like, you said this and it actually means this. And then you have like a bit bender back and forth between like how Bitbender's having a back and forth between Class C and themselves. But yeah, the new team doesn't have MMO RPG experience, and that's like a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. They have participated in some RPGs, which is just role-playing games, roughly the same genre, but not on a larger scale, because MMOs incorporate a lot of players. RPGs could be like single player, co-op, or like 4-player type of games. But as Shadow has said, like, you've basically fired the team that have worked on like Fallout, World of Warcraft, like Dragon, what was the thingy one? Like basically all of these MMOs that have been successful in the previous like 10, 20 years, the team has worked on it and had a lot of knowledge of that. And you've replaced it for a new team that has worked on several Web3 games as well as several Web2 games. But the one thing I'm concerned about is their lead economist. I think Musashi taught the lead economist gaming economy, and I don't think that's good, because like you could be like paper smart on economy, but gaming economies are different, and most gaming economies work by experiencing and playing other MMORPGs, because then you understand how things work in those games, how it translates over to all these other games. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anything else to add, Shadow?
Yeah, just, you know, it's sad times for a lot of people at the moment. Time is the factor now, isn't it?
Yep. Now it's just time.
See what they actually start doing, and then see what direction this game goes. You know, a lot of people was holding on to Miranda's being the title that really got Gala out there. So yeah.
Well, based on Gala's previous track record of the gaming side, at least, it hasn't exactly been amazing, right? So everybody was like, oh, by the time Miranda's comes out, it'll be like 2 years when they battle test all these other games. And then when Miranda's comes out, they'll like a battle test like the 10, 20 other games that they had in the pipeline and apply all the good changes to Miranda's. And Miranda's becomes the holy grail of Gala's platform. It becomes the Web3 go-to MMO RPG, like fantasy medieval RPG, and it kicks off, right? It's like the Star Atlas of Solana. It's going to be like the go-to name for galachain and galagames. But now, as you said, it is a time game. The next build, I don't think I'm going to like get a lot of information from that, because the next build was pretty much exactly the old dev team's build that the new team has just compiled and made. It's what they add in the coming months. So like Q3, Q4, like if they add additional features and how they implement and use the old team's code back and forth, that is what I'm waiting on to see if they can actually use the old stuff, or if they're going to be like the old team's like, oh yeah, we had to redo a database, we have to redo the asset library, we have to redo a bunch of code. It's like, no, the old team basically made the blueprint for you. You use that code, you build the game. And then since it's a time thing, since Bitbender and like Gala specifically mentioned that, oh, you can't just get 2 play tests a year. So now we have to wait and see how the new team does it, right? If they're doing the same, if they give 2 play tests, then what was the point in firing the old team? But if they're giving like weekly updates and like every 2-week updates and like minor changes and communication, like been 2 weeks, the new team hasn't popped in Discord as much, but I guess they are busy sorting everything out. So I guess once they get into the flow, we will get like weekly Friday updates, we will get like weekly Wednesday updates, we will get like fireside chats, etc. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, Khaos, your thoughts on the visions and promises of Miranda's?
Yeah, no, I was very similar to everyone else's. When I first saw the message when Bitbender posted it, I was like, wait, hold on, why are you asking us this question? Like, and I was like, regardless if you're trying to keep the promises that were made to the community, you should already know what they are. And I was just like, unless you don't know what they are, and you ain't got a clue what they are, and you're trying to like figure out, find out from the community what was said, because for whatever reason, don't have it anymore. And I know why you don't got it no more. Like somebody's either taking it with them and not sharing it with you, and you're like, oh shit, we need to build out this game based on the promises that was made. Um, that was my only concern with seeing that. But yeah, hopefully that they will look at it and stay true to the promises. Obviously, a lot of the community members are real knowledgeable about Miranda's. Like they study this shit. They've written articles. They've got spreadsheets and whatnot. Like, so it's so cool that God can actually go to the community and say, yo, like what was said, and people got receipts. They got links. They're like, yo, boom. Like even though, like you said, they changed the description of the exemplars, but thank God somebody's actually got evidence to say, nah, this is what it said before. Like this is what was promised and whatnot. So it's cool, and it's a good thing that they're actually coming to the community and asking, because they could have just went off and did their own thing and be like, yeah, we're just changing it, like like everything else, we're just gonna change it, and you're just gonna have to live with that and like it. But they know that they can't really do that. They're gonna have to like stay true to the promises that's made, or people are just gonna be like, yeah, that's it, that's the final straw, I'm done. So.
Oh, so this is old screenshot, as you say, taking evidence. This was the Pickard on the first sale, and this was the Pickard on like the fifth sale after every like batch of 100 sold. You can see the difference in price and increase. And this is what I paid like peak bull run when Gala was like 70 cents or some shit for the Pickard.
Jesus. That's a lot. That's a lot of Gala at that time for that price.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of the communities also have screenshots, as you were saying. Also, I believe Gala needs to burn the Firebrand leftover horses, because they said once the sale goes live, any of the extra horses will be token burnt. So I don't know if they've done that, but that is also, they need to do something. You need to add it to the promise sheet. We have two questions, one from Prospector. Galagames is running out of cash and needs to finish creating a product to produce revenue. Well, we'll have to wait and see, Prospector. And then Lost Gaming, as long as the new team isn't wasting time taking trips to record sounds in the wilderness, I'm good with them. Oh, some people did like the new old team doing that loss, so I guess it's a matter of perspective. But yeah, as we said, we've got it's a time game now. We just got to wait and see what the new team does, how Gala supports the new team, how Gala interacts, well, the chain side interacts with the new code and the new team. But we'll have to, just wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few things that like they was working on, and where people were like, yeah, I don't really need that. The sound, that's cool because that's very immersive. Like if I'm out and in the evening at nighttime and it's dark and I'm hearing like sounds that you hear at nighttime, I'm like, shit, I'm scared. What the fuck is that, bro? Like, did you hear that shit? Sounds like there's a snake somewhere, whatever. But like the whole voice altering to make you sound like an orc and stuff like that, that's.
I think that was one of the main ones, the AI voice changer, and like a few of the other minor things that they showed in the Fireside chat. It was like, just build the game. Like you can add all this stuff later. Just get the 5 zones and what was it, 5 zones and 2 dungeons or 3 dungeons. Get that in the game first. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And if you want more information, you can go to mirandus.game and go to the FAQs. It still has quite a lot of the information, or you can go to Mirandus Hub, which is Hammerhand's basically hub for Miranda. So I guess we can explore that, and then we'll end the podcast. If you have any more questions, guys, feel free to ask. If you guys, Khaos or Shadow, have any questions of yourself, feel free to put it out there. These were the guilds in Mirandus. Drunken Ducks was Jake's guild. Masters of Materium still plan to play Mirandus, but they have de-risked. Everglen, Mirandus Farmers, Deserters of Mirandus, 7 Sails. Then you have like the monsters available that you've seen. The Goblin Mother. I don't think I could show that on stream. And then you have like the buildings, you have the deeds, you have exemplars, you have all the other things, and then the homepage. But yeah, it was nice to see this as a receipt for some of the old descriptions. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. This is a time game, guys. It is a time game. Let's talk about The Walking Dead quickly before we finish, because The Walking Dead is in a similar situation, but the only thing is the people were not attached to that team as much as they were attached to Mirandas's team. So there is not a lot of like backlash or chaos in the Walking Dead discussion. It is more so happening in the Miranda's discussion, because the Walking Dead team did promise quite a few things on the November 8th playtest, and several things were not in game, and it was like 6 months after and it was still not in game. Main thing being dungeons, masteries being kept, scrap being scrapped. Now masteries and scrap kind of make sense because there could be like game breaking, like duplication bugs or game breaking ways to level up your mastery, but then you can just re-roll it back. Like I took a good 5-6 day vacation from work because they said on November 8th you'll be keeping your levels, you'll be keeping your masteries, and you'll be keeping your scrap. So that is basically like a beta launch for a game. And then 1 week before that launch, they were like, oh yeah, you only be keeping your levels, like masteries and scrap no longer work, and dungeons won't be in the game. We're still working on dungeons, and that pissed me off quite a bit. So if the hard decision, tough decision that Gala and Bitbender have said that they have made work, and then the new like Chilean dev team like deliver the promises, give updates regularly, get all this shit in the hands of the players, and build the game like how it's meant to be built, not like half-assed, I'm all for it. But I do still want to see like McCarthy's vision in Miranda's. For The Walking Dead, like as I keep saying, my whole plan was to play The Walking Dead for 1 or 2 years, then transition over to Miranda's. But now it looks like The Walking Dead and Miranda's are going to be live at the same time, earning at the same time. And I don't think you can commit to both MMORPGs. The Walking Dead will be mobile, so I might be able to play like the mobile version of that. But if I'm actively playing a game, it's definitely going to be Miranda's. But it depends if it's the same vision. 8-bit tendies, having a specific sound team capturing sound doesn't necessarily mean they were wasting time. Everyone has a specific job. Well, and then Prospector is, are we going to have a screenshot everything Galagames says when buying NFTs? Well, you might have to start screenshot and recording quite a lot of things, which people have started to do. Like I do it anyway, just as a precaution to things that I need to remember. So like when I like pulled epic stuff in Champions Arena, I've got a screenshot of like when I pulled my first Seraph, when I pulled my first Durax. I've got a screenshot of the Walking Dead map, just in case it randomly disappears from the Gala Discord. So this was the map that they showed in Galaverse 2021. And this is meant to be the whole world map. Each section is a county, and a county is basically what we're currently playing with The Walking Dead right now. I think it's this one right here. And as you can see, a lot of people, when they bought their land, they have allocated a section to the whole world map as their reserved spot. So whenever land rush happens, these people, based on previous promises, are guaranteed this slot, and then the other people will be able to come in and place their lands. So there's also promises that need to be fulfilled in the Walking Dead Empires as well as from Miranda's, but they're not talked about that as much. Like Anonymous has really secured this section, and then you have Gem, which me and Khaos are playing with for The Walking Dead, has secured this section. There's quite a few down here, like in the red, like the Galactic Pack. We don't know if half these people still play The Walking Dead, but yeah, these are screenshots that I do keep that are still available in the Gala Discord. But as I said, if it randomly disappears, I still have a backup, so I know what I was promised and what they did say. Also, I take screenshots of this. Nephilim Hoss says, like and subscribe to Smilinmonster. You heard the man in the description. There you go. You know what to do. See, shit like this, I keep screenshots. I think most people do anyway. They don't have a specific job anymore. Oh my god, shots fired indeed.
Right. People are going
and Tofu says,
chat, bro.
yeah, and then Tofu says Trello never forgets. So yeah, if you guys don't know, Tofu has a Trello page. Let me see if I can get that up before we go. Trello, is it Galapedia? There you go, the Galapedia. Copy that, paste that, boom. So Tofu, you can post the link in the description. Oh wait, I can do it for you. I just copied it. But yeah, let me post it on YouTube and over on Twitter. So this is basically Tofu's Trello page, which makes sure stuff doesn't forget. There's a total of 36 games mentioned: Vox Utility, AAA titles, App Store, mobile gaming, console gaming, desktop gaming. He's got like a whole section right here, right? Then you got the Gala calendar. This is the announced. This is the in development. This is in beta early access. This is the live games. And then you have like all the other information right here. And then you can click on the games and it'll give you information. So if you click on Superior, it'll give you like all the information, the attachments, the change logs of what happened and what was updated, what the studios are. Like there's a whole bunch of information. Make sure to check it out in the link. Okay, and I think that is going to be the end of the stream, guys. So that was episode 12 of Guardians of the Galaverse. You basically learned everything that happened in the Gala games ecosystem over the last week. I have multiple Trello boards. See my Discord profile name. There you go. Check the Discord profile name for the multiple Trello boards. But any final thoughts, Shadow and Chaos, before we jump off? I've said that like 4 times during this podcast.
No, I'm just half asleep. It's like 12:30. I am literally the Walking Dead. I'm looking forward to getting to sleep. But no, thanks everyone for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Until next week, peace out.
Yeah, same. I'm hella tired. I wasn't feeling too good today. Like I said at the beginning, spicy food got me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Can't wait until the next stream. Hopefully we can get another special guest on. That would be cool. And 8-bit tendies, if you're still watching, I'm gonna see you at the tables.
All right, peace, guys. Catch you next week.